Hey everyone, I'm at this building here. It's just a little further down from where I was at last, at the dormitory. I did a little walkthrough. Some of the staircases seem to be semi-safe. I went up and down and through the building a little bit. So let's check it out. Hello everyone, this is Anthony from Our Strange Meanderings. Welcome to another New York farm colony walkthrough. This is another dormitory which I've been getting into lately, as you see from our last videos that I've uploaded. And this is a little sped up because I was being careful with what was beneath my feet. As you can see, I was looking upwards at the staircases, checking it out. I'm going to go towards this outer edge and look down. And these dormitories, some of them were built in the 1930s. But I found an interesting story concerning Willie Sutton, who was a notorious bank robber, and he was associated with the New York farm colony, which is well documented, and you can Google this stuff up. And he was hiding at the farm colony, and after escaping from prison in 1947, Sutton reportedly hid out at the farm colony for several years. He managed to evade authorities by blending in as a city worker, even holding the role of a porter during his stay in Staten Island. During this time, he operated largely undetected until his eventual recapture. This episode is referenced in multiple retrospective articles and oral histories and demonstrates how the remote, overlooked character of the farm colony made it a refuge for a high-profile fugitive. Now, he was said to have worked at the farm colony, but he had a room that he rented in westerly of Staten Island. And there is no definitive public record specifying the exact building or dormitory within the farm colony where Sutton stayed during his time hiding there. And most sources describe Sutton's employment as a porter at the farm colony and detail his use as an alias. His alias was Edward Lynch, but it does not. My research doesn't have a precise location inside the farm colony itself. And then, as I said, he rented a room off-site in the Westerly area while working at the farm colony, rather than residing in the colony dormitories. Thus, while he worked and hid at the farm colony during the day, his actual living quarters were likely in the nearby private residence, of which I cited. Now, where we are is just looking up at the inside of these buildings, and you see it's very overgrown. Nature's been reclaiming it. Not only can you see that nature has long been reclaiming the farm colony, but an interesting story is about Thorazine, an antipsychotic medication introduced in the 1950s, which is credited with contributing to the decline of institutionalized populations across New York and the United States. In the context of the farm colony, sources state that the widespread use of Thorazine and similar medications led to a sharp decline in the number of able-bodied workers on the farm, as it sedated patients who once formed the institution's workforce. The phenomenon accelerated the transformation of the colony from a working poor farm to essentially a geriatric center and contributed to its ultimate closure and abandonment. And there's no detailed incidents. While there are general references to the impact of Thorazine on farm colony operations and resident activity, there are no readily available detailed stories or records naming specific instances of personal accounts of workers who were directly unable to perform duties specifically due to the medication. Most sources speak to the general institutional trend of population decline and the reversal of work requirements as medication and modern social programs replaced earlier methods. I apologize getting a little tongue-tied in this, but there you have it. That's some of what led to the decline of the poor farm colony. Here, as you see, some more of my walkthrough, collapsed elevators, dumpsters, dumbwaiters that have come down, ceilings have come down. It's just been like this for decades. And I think if ever there's a chance for them to restore it, it's going to take a lot of work. Maybe because it's been sitting here for so long, plans have been delayed and delayed, and what we have left just stories and memories. And as you know, it was built in 1898. It was a self-preserving housing community for the impoverished or otherwise socially outcast. And it was very much a utopia for these people. It held over 2,000 residents. They would produce vegetables and textiles and feed and sustain themselves. And, with the advent of Social Security and drugs like Thorazine, it started to decline. And in 1975, it was abandoned and sealed up. But the 70s and 80s began a more sinister period of his existence. Many local children ended up disappearing. We know the stories by now if you've seen Cropsey and other documentaries, and if you lived through the period such as I did in Staten Island in the late 70s, early 80s, mid 80s as well, the stories of Andre Rand and the vagrants that lived in the tunnels that were part of his group, and finding murdered children, people who disappeared from the neighborhood. Bodies have been found here. And it's a shame that this history is now going to be forever embedded upon this place, and that nothing has been done to do something to restore it to a certain level where people can enjoy and come back and learn something from docents, from parks workers, and it's probably going to stay like this till it deteriorates forever. As you can see from these steps, they're completely fallen apart. You can see through the metal. I'm not going to walk up them. You see from over the edge here, I'm just slightly by the edge. You see everything has come down and collapsed. So once again, here's a walkthrough of another portion of the New York Farm Colony. Thank you for joining me in this episode. And please do check out ourstrangemeanderings.blog. And stay tuned. I'm going to be back tomorrow, which is going to be September 9th. And you see me walking down these stairs. They were a little bit more solid. And I'll be back tomorrow with another video, or at least I'm going to be recording from a different location at the farm colony. And I'll see you then.